When they see that all roads are blocked, they want to try to join black community. When they see that they are trying to move forward, but they cannot move forward, they are stagnant in one position, now they want to join black community. Now let it make sense to me that this white woman is not switching spaces. Marjorie Taylor, what? She is now switching spaces. And as far as I'm concerned, this woman will literally not be loyal to black people. In fact, see, if you like, as you're watching me, tell me in the comments section that it's a lie. She's gonna be faithful to black people. Honestly, you cannot tell me that when the things are sour, when things are bad, is now when you want to switch spaces. No way, it is not going to work. Remain in your position. Enjoy where you have always been. In fact, we don't want you to be trapped in a color like this. We love the fact that you are white, you are fair enough. Listen to what black folks actually told her and let me know your honest opinion in the comment section. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like this video, drop your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. And with that being said, let's dive right into this video because I can't believe it. I can't.
To me and listen to me well, so we'll have no mistake of where we stand. Fuck Marjorie Taylor Greene and fuck your purple revolution. See, you all think we're going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe, but I remember everything that Marjorie Taylor Greene has said and everything she has done in service to white supremacy. All you people running around here talking about basically you have buyer's remorse. I remember everything you all said also in service to white supremacy. And all this talk about how this bleach blonde, bad built, butch body bitch has changed her tune and she's now working for the working class. Yeah, no. See, she's only changing her tune because she's looking for a new base, because she's on the outside looking in now. And you don't believe me? Well, I don't really like tea times, but here's some tea for you. And this tea is going to be poured by United States Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Let's get it.
Some tea for you. MTG, people are like, oh my God, she's saying all of these things. Like, what's gotten into her lately? Oh, like she's bucking against Trump. She's bucking against the administration. Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to run for Senate in Georgia. She wanted to run for Senate earlier this year in the state of Georgia. She wanted to be the Republican nominee for Senate. So she was gearing up for that statewide race, and Trump told her no. Trump said no. And the White House and Trump land shut down Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal ambitions to run for Senate. And she has been on a revenge tour ever since.
Well, if you didn't know, now you know. And for me, regardless of that, it will always be fuck your purple revolution and fuck Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Listen to me. Marjorie can't be trusted. She's not getting better. She's not even butter. Okay, she's margarine. She's fake. She's an alternative because she understands her time is ticking, so she has to start grifting. AOC spilled her tea.
She was gearing up for that statewide race, and Trump told her no. Trump said no. And the White House and Trump land shut down Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal ambitions to run for Senate. And she has been on a revenge tour ever since.
And Jasmine Crockett done clocked it.
Hell may have frozen over because we are agreeing more than we're not. But I will tell you that while there is a new Marjorie, as some people have said, I do want to give people an opportunity to do their research. And the reality is that the big ugly bill, it only passed with one vote. And if one more Republican would have defected, which we had maybe two Republicans that defected, if we would have just had one more, then we would not be talking about higher insurance premiums. Marjorie Taylor Greene voted for this.
And we all about fact checking over here, babes. It looks like with that big, beautiful bill that passed, who's this? Who's this that voted yay on the same bill that cuts ACA subsidies and is going to strip 17 million people from their health insurance? Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Nobody changes overnight. It seems like
is going on with this woman. I just had someone ask me, what is going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene? What is with this change? Is she leaving MAGA? I mean, what the hell is going on? But to me, it seems that it's one of two things. The first is that this might be an honest change. People do have epiphanies. People do realize the error of their ways. People do feel betrayed by others and change as a result of that. I don't know if that's going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but it's possible. It is possible that she actually believes in things and is realizing, has finally begun to admit to herself that neither Donald Trump nor the Republican Party actually do believe in the things that they pretend to, and she is disgusted and is having a bit of a change of heart. The other is that she might be just trying to position herself for higher office, to get elected statewide by moderating herself. Because if she wants to get elected statewide in Georgia, a state that has 2 Democratic senators, she can't be the fire-breathing MAGA loon that she has been up to this point. So I don't know. Could be legit, could be just a cynical repositioning for,
Just want to say I don't trust Marjorie Taylor Greene one bit. And I just want to say this for the record, whether anybody cares or not. I want it to be known that I don't think that she is genuine. And the reason I don't is she has spent a long time building the snake up. And I understand that people can change and that everybody at some point in their life goes through changes. Whether consciously making those changes or making them out of desperation or hitting rock bottom. Hopefully, and I'm hopeful that most people make changes because they want to better their life. In this case, however, I think it's because she wants to preserve the way of life that she has been privy to for a while. And she's understanding now that that may not be possible if she keeps allowing the snake to be associated with her. She looks around, she sees what happened a couple days ago. She sees the start of the avalanche, how every single person that the snake endorsed didn't bode so well for them. She sees that. And now she wants to say that she was brainwashed and she has snapped out of it, and by all means, maybe she has. But I think it's more about the preservation of her situation and her circumstances, because it just so happens to align with that time in the cycle where these politicians start coming out of the woodwork again saying, hey, I realized that I did some things that weren't right. I'm shedding my skin. And now here's why you should vote for me, because now I'm a better person. Even though I spent the last 2, 3, 4 years making your life utter hell. That's what I think's going on. I don't think it's genuine.
Continue to be mindful of those who are going to attempt to rebrand on this sinking ship.
Your reaction? Yeah, hell may have frozen over because we are agreeing more than we're not. But I will tell you that while there is a new Marjorie, as some people have said, I do want to give people an opportunity to do their research. And the reality is that the big ugly bill, it only passed with 1 vote. And if one more Republican would have defected, which we had maybe 2 Republicans that defected, if we would have just had 1 more, then we would not be talking about higher insurance premiums. Marjorie Taylor Greene voted for this. Point blank period.
She's only criticizing her party because she's pissed. I said months ago that she was mad because the Mad King didn't endorse her for Senate. And of course, AOC confirmed it earlier this week. That's probably the same reason why she decided not to run for governor of Georgia. I saw talk that she's thinking about running in 2028. And I mean, I'm never voting for the Republican candidate, but granted, I do think that she has a chance against JD Vance. But all of that is to say is that these people are never going to actually acknowledge all the harm that they've done. They are only pivoting because they see the writing on the wall, at least those of them with some fucking sense. It's a sinking ship. We can see that based off of the results earlier this week, Republicans are fucked. She simply got ahead of the curve months ago, and she's doing this all out of revenge, but it also works in her favor because they're fucked. So I'll continue to say, do not buy anything that these people say. They are full of shit. They have not changed. She continues to spew all that hateful ass bullshit. She spewed that bullshit about Joe Biden manipulating the weather in order to target southern states. Her going on this little rebrand tour on CNN and The View and such, it means nothing to me because these people are fucking sly ass foxes who only give a damn about themselves. And of course, I expect to see more and more of this over the coming year as we approach the midterms and approach the 2028 election. We saw the exit polls, and it's clear that some people are still on their bullshit, so continue to be wary and continue to stay focused.
Marjorie Taylor Greene has not suddenly found her humanity. She is not representing your interests, and don't believe a single thing that she says. She is on a revenge tour because a while back she expressed interest in joining the Senate, and Donald Trump crushed those dreams. And don't forget who this person is. She is part of the reason why we have Donald Trump in the White House to begin with. And the things that she has said and she has done, whether she's in alignment with those thoughts now or she was then, we have no idea. This is not a person who can be trusted. And she is saying and doing whatever she can on her revenge tour against Trump for undermining her goals to get into the Senate. But she's also the kind of person who's going to say whatever she needs to say for the people who would be voting for her. And we can't trust that. This is the type of person who's going to say whatever they need to get to their own ends. Whatever way the wind is blowing, that's the kind of thing that they're going to talk about. And right now she sees a strategic advantage in talking about how to support her constituents, social safety net programs, what's happening with the working class. Don't believe it. She's why we're in this situation to begin with. And her and all those like her who supported Donald Trump and supported the sycophants and got us into this position need to be voted out, regardless of whether or not they've changed their tune.
Taylor Greene, you're going to get on The View and say that you still love Trump? Are you serious? See, this is why she cannot be trusted. Yeah, Marjorie, we would all like Mike Johnson to do his damn job as Speaker of the House. Duh, he not doing it because guess who is underneath his damn thumb? It's Trump. I want to know why Marjorie Taylor Greene kept on saying out her mouth repeatedly she loves Trump. I love Trump. Yeah, we know why. Because he's watching your ass. And you don't want him to do what he needs to do to get your ass out. Because we already know from previous months that you wanted to be a senator. And he said, hell to the no. And are you a senator? No, you're not. And my thing, View ladies, why didn't you bring up the verbal abuse this woman has said to Crockett? Why not? That was out. Her bullying about, was it Stoneman Douglas High School? That was a hoax. Do y'all remember that? Please. Women of The View, where were y'all at? Y'all were busy kissing her ass. The only person that was kind of muscling up to her was Sunny. All I'ma say is she put on a big ass show just so she can get reelected to whatever the fuck she is. And The View, where was Anna at? We needed some muscle there. We knew Anna don't give two fucks. So where was Anna at in all of this? I bet y'all did that shit on purpose so Anna wouldn't be there because you knew Anna ain't gonna hold her tongue when it comes to the American people. And that was the Republican too. Did y'all even hear Alyssa even say anything? I don't even remember what she said. She was probably white.
Sorry, but Marjorie Taylor Greene has been making far too much sense lately, y'all. She has been sounding far too reasonable. She was on CNN last night talking about inflation, and she was like, yeah, Donald Trump is wrong. I grocery shop myself. I see them prices. They are way higher than they were a year ago. My constituents' prices are higher. Like, everything is higher than it was before Donald got into office.
The president says there's virtually no inflation and that grocery prices are going down. Do you agree with him on that? No, I go to the grocery store myself. Grocery prices remain high. Energy prices are high. My electricity bills are higher here in Washington, D.C. at my apartment, and they're also higher at my house in Rome, Georgia, higher than they were a year ago. So affordability is a problem, and I'm a mom. My kids are 22, 26, and 28. That's the generation I worry about the most, and they're having a very hard time. But when I go back home and I talk to many of my constituents, I'm hearing stories of not only are we having a really hard time affording groceries and rent and things like that, but I'm also hearing stories about people maxing out their credit cards just to afford their monthly expenses.
And on top of her calling out Donald, she has also been calling out her own party a lot, especially House Speaker Mike Johnson, saying that it is embarrassing that they haven't come back to session during the shutdown. And she has also basically agreed with Democrats on the healthcare subsidies. She agrees that there needs to be some type of extension of those because there is no other plan to provide people healthcare otherwise. Before y'all eat me up, let me just say she is 1000% complicit in the Trump administration. If she tried to think for herself earlier, we would not be in this position. She should have never supported and enabled this administration. But I do have some sort of, I don't trust that lady, but I have some sort of appreciation that she's able to call her own party out. And I hope that more Republicans start doing that. But like AOC called out, it is a little bit inauthentic, y'all. Because apparently the tea is that she was trying to run for Senate in Georgia. Donald Trump shut that down. And so she has just been on like a revenge tour ever since. And she's also up for re-election. Obviously, Donald Trump is bad for business, y'all. If you are a Republican and you have a seat up, people are suffering. I think more and more Republicans, especially the ones up for re-election, are going to be trying to separate themselves from this administration and at least be calling.
Green wants to run for president. I knew this was coming. I knew this whole, oh, I'm just mad at my party right now and we got to do what's best for the American people was all a play. She's just trying to position herself in a way that makes it seem like she's for all people so she can get votes. And it's honestly so disgusting how much of a game this is to these people. We're talking about people's lives. We're talking about whether someone lives or dies. We're talking about whether or not somebody gets a meal, a home, healthcare, and they're sitting here playing games and just literally putting on a big show, acting like, oh yeah, like, actually, I'm not for any of the stuff that I say, but I'm going to say it so that...
Green tells Notice that she is preparing to make a bid for the 2028 presidential race. Thought Kevin Hart would become 6 foot tall, we would find Bigfoot, Britney Spears would have a good camera angle, Jennifer Lopez would ever find those vocals she's been reaching for. Donald Trump's skin was ever a normal non-orange color with a wig that had full density, that before MTG would have the gall and the audacity to say that the American people want her for president. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. This timeline we're on, maybe I should run for president. Honestly, at this point.
The president says there's virtually no inflation and that grocery prices are going down. Do you agree with him on that?
No, I go to the grocery store myself. Grocery prices remain high. Energy prices are high. My electricity bills are higher here in Washington, D.C. at my apartment, and they're also higher at my house in Rome, Georgia, higher than they were a year ago.
You're watching Marjorie Taylor Greene tell the truth about inflation, and Trump just got fact-checked by his own party. Listen, this is the crack in the establishment that you've been waiting for. Here's the thing. When politicians start admitting that prices are actually skyrocketing, that's the moment the whole narrative falls apart. But yeah, they'll call it a scandal instead of admitting the cost of living is destroying working families. Marjorie Taylor Greene just said what millions of people already knew. Groceries are expensive, energy bills are through the roof, and your kids won't be able to afford rent. Well, shit, neither can we. But watch how fast the MAGA media tries to bury this, because it doesn't fit the story that they need to tell you. They need Trump to be right about everything, but reality has other plans. The people you know are maxing out credit cards just to survive. That's how I feel, and somehow that's still not enough to make the news. This is the moment when the facade cracks. When Republicans start saying things that hurts their own side. You know the situation's actually worse than anyone's admitting. Inflation has been going through the roof since Trump got back in office. And now even the loyalists can't keep pretending that it didn't happen. That's not politics anymore, man. That's just desperation showing through. Because they need to worry about their seat. The system can't hold the lie together anymore. Make sure to like and follow for more if you
funny about people saying that Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is having this switch up because she has a political future to worry about. Although we know she's not in the Georgia Senate race, people were alluding to her possibly running, but she's not. But people are talking about her, rerunning for her seat in the House whenever it comes up. But the most hilarious part to me about people saying that Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is switching up is that means the strategy had to be, in her meeting with her team and staff, hey, Congresswoman, we're thinking about changing things up to make you a little bit more popular, to gain more votes and more support. Can you try being a good person? Like, that's what y'all saying. People told her switch up should be. Like, you want to try being nice to people? Look, if anybody's going to have a switch up, I'm all for supporting people who switch up is becoming a better person. So you see a lot of people who say, oh, she's just faking it. That's not her true self, blah, 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 blah. They may be right. But if you're going to fake being something, wouldn't you prefer people fake being nice? If you're going to be lying about something, or rather you lie about being a good person, like let the perception be you're a good person. Me thinking about these strategy meetings and somebody creating a whole PowerPoint. I was like, yeah, you should go on The View and be respectful. You should go on The View and say, us women have to stick together. You should go on The View and say, when I come to talk shows to talk about politics, I'm not here to disrespect anyone. And then the last slide is, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is a good person.
Finished watching the segment of Marjorie Taylor Greene being on The View. And I wanted to give my 2 cents on this because I find it kind of weird that Republicans have a problem with her going on The View. I actually appreciated that she went on because God knows The View is so biased and it's good to bring on the opposing party. However, with that being said, I will state I was very disappointed in how Marjorie Taylor Greene showed up on the show. She acted so soft to all the women on The View. And though I appreciate what she's trying to do, where she's talking about bringing together the Democrats and the Republicans, she's talking about the agenda of America first. However, if you like to call out the Republican Party for their hypocrisy and not keeping their word, then why didn't you call out the women when they were saying stupid crap that they know they don't really believe in? Like, there was a moment where Whoopi Goldberg was criticizing how President Trump gave $40 billion Argentina while farmers are suffering, while the economy and inflation is not improving. But instead of pushing back, because if I was Marjorie Taylor Greene, I would have been like, yeah, I have a problem with that. But at the same time, why do you have a problem with that? Because you were okay with endorsing and promoting $700+ billion being sent to the Ukraine. Again, I would have called out the hypocrisy, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, she was just playing nice with all these, acting like they're all her besties. I'm not against Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm just pretty disappointed in
Standards, Dr. O here, and what's going on with the way the media is just embracing Marjorie Taylor Greene like she is some type of angel or something, right? Now, look, to be clear, I'm all about finding common ground in uncommon times. I'm all about what Glenn Singleton talks about in terms of having courageous conversations. I'm all about that. But part of the courageous conversation that Glenn will tell you in a heartbeat, part of the idea of being able to find common ground is being open and honest and taking accountability for your actions. And none of these networks that are having her on, she says she's willing to talk to anybody and everybody. We'll see if she, come through on, I don't know if Clay Kane would be down for the interview or, Roland or whatever. I don't know. A Native Land. I don't know. That'd be interesting. But these other spots she's going to, they're just painting her like she's just normal, like just everything is fine. Where's the accountability, right? That's one of the challenges and problems we have in this society. Is like there's no type of atonement for what people do in their past actions. Then people are like, and then people will say, I get so annoyed about this. If she says something that criticizes like Mike Johnson or criticizes the shutdown, this like even Marjorie Taylor Greene says blah, blah, blah. So what? Stop taking her to this next level of something that she's not or has never been, unless you're going to hold her accountable. I haven't heard a single apology for, let's say, her comments about Jewish space lasers. I haven't seen anything to show me that she's no longer an anti-Semite. She praises on the news. She's given all of this praise for Nancy Pelosi retiring. In 2019, she talked about she's committing treason and is worthy of death. Like, how do you not call that out? How do you not say, do you regret those comments? She says she's not like QAnon anymore, but what about all of the conspiracies and things that were put out there? What about some of the ridiculous stuff that she's still saying on her Twitter feeds now? Y'all, it's like the late Dr. Joe Madison used to always say, it's like people like to maximize the minimum and minimize the maximum. Like, they're taking, these particular comments about the shutdown, still not directly critical of Trump. She'll go at Mike Johnson and all of that. But when she is asked if Trump should take responsibility, she'll say, like, lightly, yeah, but then talk about the bubble around him is what's giving him the information, and that's the problem. So look, y'all, I'm all about people seeing the light. I'm all about people finding their way. I'm all about people trying to find a way to work together. But there's got to be some real accountability that comes with this stuff. And the fact that these news outlets are not doing it, it really shows why so many people look at them with disfavor nowadays. And I hope that some of them will get their act together just to call her to account on the things that she does continue to say and the things that she said in the past, as opposed to letting her paint herself as this angel. It's not cool. Let me know what you think.
Hell must be freezing over, because I just got through watching The View and I found myself, agreeing with a lot of the stuff that one right there was saying. She was on here calling out House Speaker Mike Johnson and the MAGA Republicans for being responsible for this Republican government shutdown. She was calling for the release of the Epstein files. She was calling out MAGA Republicans for not having any sense of a plan when it comes to fixing this healthcare crisis in America. She talked about Americans being out of work, and of course her party not keeping their promises when it comes to putting America first, bailing out other international countries instead of focusing on fixing what's wrong here in America. Bitch, if I ain't know no better, I would have thought her ass was a Democrat, but she made it clear that she's not a Democrat. But just watching her on The View, y'all, she was talking like she had sense. Like she wasn't drinking the Trump Kool-Aid anymore. But despite all of the stuff that she was saying, honey, I ain't falling for it. It's re-election season. And the thing about politicians is they will say whatever needs to be said to get your vote, okay? I'm in Georgia. Even if I was in her district, even though she was on here, I wouldn't vote for her ass because I don't trust it, okay? At the end of the day, beginning of the morning, in the middle of the afternoon, honey, all this stuff that she was saying, she still was pledging her allegiance to Donald Trump. And as long as she's pledging her allegiance to Donald Trump, I would never ever pledge my allegiance to her and vote for her. Here's the thing, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You can't wake up from Trump delusional syndrome and say that everything that the MAGA Republicans is doing is wrong and is not helping our country, but not wake up from Trump himself, honey. I don't trust it. Until you part ways with Trump, I don't trust anything that's coming out your mouth, honey.
I am so happy that a lot of folks are no longer falling for gaslighting. Yeah. If you are in MAGA, remain in MAGA. In fact, no matter how bitter, how sweet it is, remain there, because obviously what Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to do is she is trying to switch so fast so that she can actually contest for any single position that she is so wishing for herself. But as at this point, you guys are done fooling people, Marjorie, okay? And a lot of people's eyes now are wide open that they can't even fall for a lot of gaslighting. And that's my happiness. And I'm happy that it is white folks dragging her. Yeah. Black people actually said a lot as well in this particular video that I posted, but the people that are dragging her most, that are saying, we don't trust you, stay on your lane. In fact, don't even try switch, remain there, enjoy every single thing, is her own fellow white folks. Because let it make sense to me that now that things are turning out like this, that is when you are planning to, where are you switching to? Where do you want to switch to? Remain where you are. It is a good space for you. As far as I'm concerned, you don't need to switch anywhere. Yes, because when people were shouting that we vote Donald Trump, You were there hailing every single thing. Why is it that all of a sudden you're just coming now and you think that we are going to trust you? I literally do not trust her too. I'm sorry. I don't know if anybody actually do trust her in the comment section. Go ahead. I don't even want to even accept that no matter what is going to happen, it is for a good intention or what, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, the only people I can really stand with are my black folks that literally know what it simply means for them to really stay on their lane. Because this woman is a Republican, like a very strong one. A very strong one. So she coming out now to start wanting to switch space, talking about Trump and so on and so forth. Keep repeating it, like repeated it over and over again, so that we can actually know that, oh, she is actually not in support of Trump. She is actually not in support of what he's actually doing. It's a lie. She is. She already know that every single thing she's doing, they are watching, they are looking. That is why every single time they try to curtail, shape their words on what they are going to say. But at the end of the day, it's still backfiring on them. So I literally I don't buy her coming. It's better for her to just stay and continue to do what she know how to do, what she has been doing, than even coming to be like you want. Like it doesn't just suit her at all. Seriously. I don't see it as, I don't see any single reason why Marjorie Taylor Greene should actually be saying all of this. That's to say, if she can literally even betray her own MAGA people, like she can betray any kind of person, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, she can. Because if you wanted to move or switch, all this why you would have said it. Not now that a lot of people, one thing I've seen with these MAGAs is they love to prepare themselves ahead of time. They know that 2028 election is approaching really quick, despite the fact that it is still far, but they are preparing themselves ahead of time so that when that time comes, they're not going to now remind you that, I supported the black community, I supported this set of people, I even stood up to what was actually not. It's a lie. You're not standing up to what. You did not stand up to anything that is not good. You did not. If you wanted to stand, you would have stand since, not now. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do what? Subscribe, like this video, drop me your comment, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And this is just for educational purposes, right? We're not here to bash anybody. But let me know, do you really trust Marjorie Taylor Greene? Like, do you really trust every single thing that she's saying? Like, do you really support her? I just want to know your honest opinion in the comment section. Anyways, with that being said, with no further ado, I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.